So, is China really weakening its English education? There have been rounds and rounds of discussions and debates online on whether China is really weakening its English education, especially when the country is showing unprecedented cultural confidence to the world. From my observation, there have been two typical opinions online. One group of people is who are, to my point of view, they are overly obsessed with the mother tongue. In their opinion, there's no necessary to learn any other language, including English, because they think they claim that Chinese or their mother language is the most important language in the world, and other people around the world should learn Chinese, not vice versa. That makes me think about an interesting phenomenon through these 2 years. I don't know whether you have ever taken a subway in a Chinese city, but an interesting change of the translation of the station names could interpret some of the subtle changes these 2 years. And in Chinese, we say ABC Road, we say ABC Lu. Lu in Pinyin or in Chinese means road. And you can easily find the translation differ from one city to another. For example, in city A, it should be ABC Road, which a foreigner could, to some extent, understand the station name, while in another city, the translation could apparently be ABC Lu. I would guess that a foreigner would have some basic language knowledge in order to understand it. So in general, it turned out to be the interpretation or the translation of the station names in a very subtle or dilemma, saying that the foreigners don't understand such translation, and the Chinese don't need such translation because they already can read the Chinese characters. The other group of people supporting such opinion online is sort of these parents who don't want their children to get too much involved in what we call involution or rat race to some extent. They think there have been already huge burden on their education, including Chinese, maths, and physics, and other very important subjects. And they think that English as a subject is already not that necessary, and they don't want to put too much burden on their children. So they would, to some extent, support such opinion. So, is that the real situation? I think one of the key message sending out what we've got is what we happen to see this September, the big change of English textbooks, at least in grade 3, grade 6, and grade 7. As a mom of a grade 7 child, during the past 5 or 6 years, what we found in an English textbook is very simple dialogues, daily useful, overall, most of them I would say oral English. So quite easy to get, not difficult to master, and I would say they could easily pick up the subject, but if they ever going to take a TOEFL or other international examinations, there will be a big gap or huge difference. But what we turned out this semester is, to our surprise, we found long paragraphs, intensive readings, what we say, this sort of like project-based learning activities, and even the translation of very traditional Chinese poems into English. I would say when I was taking my college education, this is something we found in college courses. So this is a huge I would say, skyrocket change. It's like the textbooks is changing from what we think is preschool reading all of a sudden into what we call real middle school education or pre-college education. So this could be some of the explanations and guide to what we've been puzzled during the past few years on whether China is really weakening its English education. And obviously, I think the message is no, we are taking this education seriously. And one very unique change is that we are going to make use of the language so to let the world better understand what we are, what country we are, and what we are leading to. And I think this is very important for our next generation.